Isn't it crazy that Yandere Simulator is a video game that spent nearly a decade in development, yet somehow the characters still feel like they were written overnight? Let's break down what makes these so-called rivals and love interests and other characters feel less like complex characters and more like cardboard cutouts with a school uniform budget. A good character design effectively combines visual appeal, personality, and storytelling. Elements that make a design stand out are something like a strong silhouette. If I show you the silhouette of this character, you immediately know who we're talking about, but if I show you this character, yeah, Yandere Simulator doesn't really do that. Memorable characters should be recognizable even in silhouette form, like unique shapes, poses, or accessories help define their identity. In Yandere Simulator, this cannot be executed very well since all of the students wear the same uniform, and accessories usually aren't allowed in Japanese schools either. However, with the rivals, you can really distinctively tell who is who by their silhouette, but if you compare some of them, they can look really similar. You can't always tell them apart, especially when it comes to other students. Silhouette-wise, in the game, many of them look the same. They walk the same way, have the same body type, wear the same clothes. Some of them just have different hairstyles or accessories on their head, but in silhouette form, they all look kind of the same. And most importantly, most of them aren't even unique designs. For example, take these two silhouettes. One of them is Saki Miyu, the other one is Osana. Now, can you tell which one's who? It will take you a few seconds to tell who is who. The only thing that really sets them apart is this very small detail in Osana's hair. Once you start comparing other NPCs that you don't often see and their silhouettes, you'll quickly realize that you have no idea who these students even are. Is this an occult club member? Is it a cooking club member? You will never know from their silhouette alone. Which leads me to the point of clear theme and concept. Now, a character should embody a clear idea, whether it's intimidating, cute, or mysterious. A consistent visual cue like colors, palettes, textures, and motifs reinforce the theme. This is very well seen with the occult club members and cooking club members. They all have similar accessories, so you can clearly tell which club they belong to, so this is definitely something that Yandere Simulator executed well. However, there's still a huge flaw with this, which are the unbalanced color palettes. Dark tones with metallic accent, for example, create an intimidating vibe, while pastel colors with soft edges feel more inviting. However, Yandere Dev kind of took this a bit too literally. All of the occult club members, for example, have the same hair color. Sure, you can tell that they belong into the same club, but is this really necessary? There could have been a way better way of showing which club they belong to and not being copy-pasted versions of each other. One thing I like about these members is that they all are missing an eye or pretend to have a missing eye. This distincts them from other characters, but they still have that flaw of all looking the same otherwise. Which leads me to the point of meaningful details. Accessories, patterns, scars, they should tell a story. This is another thing that the occult club sort of does. For example, this character. Her personality description says this: claims to be wearing a medical eye patch to correct a problem with her vision, refuses to provide details regarding her eye condition, leading to rumors that she is lying about the reason she wears an eye patch. And another occult club member has this personality description. No student has ever seen the right side of his face. Some students suspect that he is using his hair to cover an unsightly scar or missing eye. Now, these details are supposed to give a character more depth, but that's literally it. We can see that the character has an eye patch, and the reason why she is wearing an eye patch, but that is all we get. There's no story, there's no nothing, and the game tries to give us this detail and information, but it just doesn't, which makes the character feel shallow. Oh, and also, this isn't a character design thing, but most of the names in the game are cringe. They're puns, bad puns at that, or just overall weird translations of other words. It just makes the characters feel even less like a real character and more like a filler. I mean, look at this girl. Her name is literally placeholder. Moving on from that, let's talk about the rivals. Supposedly distinct personalities designed to challenge the player, but in reality, they're just walking tropes. Osana is a textbook tsundere who barks louder than she bites. Amai is the sweet baker girl, literally defined by cakes and sugar metaphors. Kizana, the elegant drama queen who feels more like a high school theater stereotype than an actual character. Instead of feeling like threats with real depth, these rivals are shallow gimmicks designed to fit predictable anime molds. No moral complexity, no unexpected layers, just stereotypes that might as well have their trope labels pinned to their uniforms. And this is not just a case for the rivals, it's also for Senpai. I'd like to call him the human prop. The ultimate prize, the golden apple, the human houseplant? No, seriously, this guy has the personality of a blank document. He's less a love interest and more of a cardboard cutout you see at a bookstore signing. No chemistry, no emotional stakes, just a passive object for the protagonist to obsess over. The only bit of personality we got is this clip from the newest update. Okay, this is really stupid. I cannot find the clip I was talking about. I was talking about the clip where Senpai throws a empty can into a trash can. And I remember seeing it and I cannot find it anywhere anymore. And I don't know how to see this scene, so yeah, I'm really sorry about that. Sadly, one of the biggest flaws of this game is the protagonist herself. Now, some might argue that the one-dimensional characters make sense. After all, the story is told through the eyes of a delusional Yandere, but if that's the case, why isn't Ayano herself more compelling? She's portrayed as a heartless sociopath, yet the game constantly tries to justify her actions with a tragic backstory. It's like the game wants you to pity her and root for her murderous obsession, without giving her enough depth to deserve either. And now looking back at the NPC problem, beyond the main cast, the game's NPCs feel equally lifeless. Students march along rigidly programmed routes, only reacting in predictable ways when the player breaks social norms. They aren't really individuals, they're walking props designed to fill space. No side conversations, no friendships forming outside scripted events, just bodies moving from point A to point B. In a game about social manipulation and deception, these NPCs should have connections, gossip chains, emotional responses that go beyond "I saw something bad." Without these details, the world just feels empty and fake. Now, all of these points raise the question, how do we fix it? How could this be improved? It's simple. You should give the rivals more layers beyond their base trope. Maybe Osana hides insecurities beneath her tsundere front. Maybe Amai's sweet persona masks manipulative tendencies. And for Senpai, well, he needs anything, to be honest. Just something. Hobbies, doubts, personal struggles, anything to make him less of a trophy and more of a person. And as for the NPCs, it would help to add dynamic conversations and relationships and unique routines. It would turn the school into a believable, breathing environment. Something that reacts meaningfully to your actions instead of just resetting once the day ends. A great way to make the NPCs feel more alive would be to introduce dynamic social circles and evolving gossip systems. For example, gossip chains. If a student witnesses Ayano acting suspiciously, of course they're going to tell a teacher, but instead they could also tell their friends, who might spread rumors. Over time, Ayano's reputation could shift based on how much gossip spreads about her. They should also have more emotional reactions. For example, if Ayano sabotages a student or destroys their things, that student might become visibly upset or angry the next day and even warns people about Ayano, decreasing Ayano's reputation over time if she's not careful. The reputation system is another thing for itself, but being able to fix your reputation within a day doesn't really seem very alive to me. The students should keep gossiping about her when she gets caught doing something suspicious, even after she apologized. It should take at least 1 or 2 weeks for the students to forget the rumor, so she should be more careful about her actions during that time. For example, if a student catches Ayano sneaking around, they could spread the rumor of Ayano being a creep. If Ayano goes to apologize to that student, her reputation will get a little better, but the student will not forget. The student will still spread the rumor, but if nobody else catches Ayano doing this within another 1 or 2 weeks, her reputation will go back to normal and she can improve it again. Features like this would make the school feel like a living ecosystem where actions have ripple effects, adding depth to the game's social strategy, instead of it just being either your reputation goes up or it goes down, and then it stays there. Yandere Simulator has spent years building a world filled with lifeless dolls instead of memorable characters. Here's to hoping that if development ever wraps up, these faces finally get the depth they desperately need and deserve. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope I can count on your support in the future, and I hope I will see you again very soon. Bye bye!